the career of Dennis Rodman as a diplomat is not quite over because of the Seattle Times. They challenged Dennis Rodman after his comments that he was, I guess, bros with Kim Jong-Un. Well, if you're so close with the dictator, why don't you tweet him and see if you can get Kenneth Bae released? Now, Kenneth Bae is a Korean American who was arrested in North Korea in November, and he was sentenced to 15 years of hard labor, which is obviously awful. So Dennis Rodman actually took up the Seattle Times' challenge and tweeted this. Do me a solid and release Bae. We don't yet know if Kim Jong-un is going to respond to that.
Right.
What do you think about Dennis Rodman's transition into diplomacy?
Well, it's a sketchy transition. It's a little interesting. I think if anybody, it's weird to say this, but I think if anybody can get Kenneth Bae out of North Korea at this point, it is Dennis Rodman.
Okay, defend that statement.
Okay, defend that statement. Okay, well, so far North Korea has said, we're not letting him go, we're keeping him here. The U.S. thinks that North Korea might start to use him as bait in direct negotiations with the U.S. over its nuclear programs, but Dennis Rodman does seem to be really buddy-buddy with Kim Jong-un, and when he left, he told Kim Jong-un, "You have a friend for life." So
yeah,
I think
they're definitely buddies. As I said, I would love to see them actually go one-on-one in basketball. I think that could single-handedly bring down the North Korean regime. It's hard to worship someone who just gets every ball swatted out of his hand as he goes for threes.
But the way it'll air on North Korean TV, he'll for sure win.
Oh yeah, it'll be totally photoshopped.
Yeah.
It'll be like Iranian videos of Michelle
Monkeys
Obama.
going to space too.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So look, I don't think that this is going to lead to Kenneth Bae being released. You should understand some of the politics going behind this. It's likely that the reason that they seize Kenneth Bae, who is, by the way, the 6th American detained just since 2009, is because it's a move to put pressure on the United States. And they want to get back into diplomatic talks, either with just the United States or possibly including maybe South Korea and China as well. And one way to put pressure on the foreign governments to do that and to be willing to come to the table is to have an actual person on the bargaining table, I guess. Now, it's unlikely that Dennis Rodman, his plea is going to be able to take away that chip from North Korea. But at least for the sake of Kenneth Bae, I hope that maybe his bro responds.
I think it's just all going to play out depending on whether or not North Korea can hold their cards until it actually is time to negotiate with the United States, or if they're going to cave to pressure. I mean, when you had Bill Clinton go over to get Laura Ling and Yoona Lee out of North Korea, you know, they were basically just caving to could be political pressure because it was Bill Clinton, but it was more just the pressure of kind of a famous face and a famous name. So that's why I think potentially Dennis Rodman has maybe a little bit of pull here. But how would you like to have your the future of your freedom in the hands of Dennis Rodman? I bet that's somewhere that Kenneth Bae never thought he would be.
Yeah, that might be a little bit scary. It is an interesting test, though, of the persuasive power of celebrities. Like, I don't know how many Twitter followers he actually has, but maybe if some combination of Miley Cyrus and Kim Kardashian were to tweet to Kim Jong-un, maybe then he'd respond. Certainly companies are paying them tons to retweet about their products and everything, but so far it hasn't resulted in anyone being released from a third world dictatorship.